All right. So the purpose of this video is to give you an idea of what a circle looks like for the compassion resilience. So this is a mock circle for us. We'll be giving you an example. Good morning, everyone. So to start with our introduction today, I'm going to read a Brene Brown quote. So just be present and listen on this quote. A deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all people. We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. When those needs are not met, we don't function as we were meant to. We break, we fall apart, we numb, we ache, we hurt others, we get sick. And then today we are talking about compassion. To help us become present in the space, we will take a moment to ground ourselves. So I'm going to ask you to please place both feet on the floor, hands comfortably in your lap, and take 3 slow and deep breaths. You can either close your eyes or look away from the screen. Think of one thing that you have on your mind that you'd be able to set aside in order to be present with us today. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. This is going to be a talking piece, but we can do it more as a popcorn. So we can just take turns. If you feel like sharing, go ahead and go first. So our first one is just going to be share your name, position, how long you have worked at our school, and how you are doing on a scale of 1 to 5 right here, right now. So I can just go ahead and get started. My name is Kylie. I am the elementary school social worker, and this is my 5th year in the district. I would say on a scale of 1 to 5 right here, right now, kind of in the middle. It's been a short week, but also kind of a long week. So I am glad it's Friday though. So I would say I'm right in the middle. Tasha, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Tasha. I am the school psychologist at Mays. Let me think, on a scale of 1 to 5 right now, I am probably in the middle as well. So I'd say like a 2.5. Just glad it's Friday. It's been a short week, but I'm tired and I've got a lot to do.
Thanks, Tasha. And I do have to back up. I forgot to share our group agreements. So that is something that we'll be doing for each Zoom meeting. Our group agreements are to do our best to be mentally present, listen to understand and not to respond. What is shared here stays here, and let's approach each other with grace. Thank you. Tate, do you want to go next?
Sure. My name is Tate Hedke. I am the school psychologist. I had to think there for a second. I'm school psychologist here at the middle school, and I also kind of dabble with the high school, the alternative high school, and the 18 to 21 SOAR program, and some of our kiddos in MATA as well. I have been in the district. I was a mid-year acquisition, so this is the start of my, I think I've been here 7.5 years. So this is 8th year, somewhere in there. I've kind of bounced around. I was at the high school first. I am, I'm about as close to a 5 as you can get, because for the last 2 years we've been really getting our butts kicked, Beth, Tosh, and I, by going to Stout a lot. So I've had 2 full weeks here where I've been at work and I haven't had to leave the city, and it's been awesome. This has been a great start to the school year, and yep, it's just gonna be awesome. It's just great to be back in the building after a long 6-month drought, and yeah, just excited.
Thanks, Tate. I appreciate your positivity. Beth.
I'm Beth Vanderberg. I'm the school psychologist at the high school and at Stetsonville Elementary as well. And this morning, I was a little frazzled getting here, so I appreciate the grounding activity you led us through, Kylie. I'd say I'm also probably a 3. It has been nice to be back and have short weeks, but the days have been long, and some of the things going on here at the high school have been a little heavy at times with the pandemic and navigating that. So doing our best to keep our chins up, but glad it's Friday as well.
Thanks for sharing. So I would like to spend a little bit of time for all of us to reflect on one reason we are in this field, why we decided to join the field of education. So if anyone wants to go first, they can. Otherwise, okay, Tate, thank you. Go ahead.
I getting into education was not necessarily what I thought I wanted to do right after high school. But then when I was in college, I realized it was something that I really needed to do. I had, growing up, I found a lot of mentors, and I found a lot of people in school that did a lot of positive things for me. My dad was on the road working construction, I wasn't around a whole lot, so I kind of filled a lot of that. I don't want to sound all melodramatic here, but filled that void, I guess, with a lot of really positive interactions with people at school. And I just realized that that was something that I enjoyed, appreciated, and I would not have been successful without. And that is, my personality was just kind of molded by those people and shaped in that way to want to do positive things for kids. And I didn't like school. School was not my favorite, but I always had those positive influences that helped me out. So I wanted to be that positive influence for other kids, I guess.
Thanks for sharing, Tate. I'll actually go next because I can go off of that a little bit. I didn't mind school, but it wasn't one of my favorite things. And being a social worker, this is kind of a secondary setting for me, but choosing to work with kids, I just really, really feel that they're resilient and amazing, and they're our future. So I wanted to be a part of helping those kids and being that positive role model, like Tate had said. So yeah, it's exciting stuff to be working with our little ones.
I can go next, Kylie. I was really reminded that in these first 2 weeks being back of why we're here, and it really is for the kids. I've been energized by being back in the building and really reminded of why I'm in this field. We have been gone a lot with classes at Stout and kind of disconnected from our buildings and students, and it's been nice to be back and be reminded that it's the students and the impact, the positive impact we can make in their lives. That's really why we're here. Well, why I'm here.
Thank you, Beth. Yeah, it's kind of amazing how I feel like my mental health boosted once I was back in the building and around everyone. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Tasha.
Well, education, I got into education. It's a far reach from when I was in kindergarten and wanted to be a movie star. I feel like from little on, I knew I wanted to be a teacher because I, like you, Kylie, loved the social component of school. I mean, school wasn't my favorite thing, but I loved going to socialize. And I feel like I get to do that every day with kids, awesome kids, and how resilient they are, and see the gains they make and help them through their trials. And also my colleagues, like I can't imagine any other job because my colleagues have become such close friends. And so I just can't imagine myself anywhere else.
Thank you for sharing. That all made my heart very happy, all of you. So Tate, if you want to share the 6 steps for compassionate action, so everyone kind of knows what we're talking about. So next I would like to, if you haven't had a chance to really look at these 6, take a couple moments to look at them. we are going to discuss one of them that really stands out to as being a strength for you, and then also reflecting on one that maybe you have to work on a little bit. Do we feel that we need a little time to review these?
Tate,
Okay.
Could you scroll down a little so we can see what 5 and 6 are?
Yeah, there's two more. So you can continue to review. I'm going to go ahead and share what I feel like is my strength. I would say that my strength is probably number 4, in showing empathy. I try really hard to understand that not everyone feels the exact same way that I do in similar situations. So I would say I've worked really hard at that over the past few years, and really trying to understand where people are at and knowing that they're not at the same place that I am. So I would say, looking at those 6, that's probably the one that that would be my strength. Does anyone want to go next?
I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to share a weakness. If I'm going to look at these 6, I think, well, looking at number 2, the self-check, being aware of your initial thoughts and feelings. I think sometimes we formulate initial opinions and we start to kind of build these constructs of situations or people or others in our heads. And sometimes I get fixated on that a little bit, and I let it cloud my judgment when we're doing things. So I think I would like to let go of some of those initial impressions when working in the schools. And I think that would really, I think that could really benefit me.
Thanks for sharing, Tate. And Beth and Tasha, if your weakness is jumping out first, go ahead and share that first if you'd like to do what Tate did.
I can share a strength, Kylie. I would also say cultivating empathy is, well, almost a strength and a weakness for me. I sometimes feel like I try to always focus on, like, how would I feel if I was in that individual situation, but sometimes it overtakes me and it's causes me to become ill, and I just focus on that issue that individual's having. So I would say number 4 is my strength and weakness.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I think all of us in the positions that we're in sometimes do feel things a little bit too deeply, and we feel the need to just fix things for people, where that, that strong empathy comes in. And like you said, sometimes that makes us ill. So thanks for sharing. Beth, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I'm thinking a strength and a weakness. I feel like in the work that we do, kind of going off what you said, Kylie, we want to fix things for people. So like the discerning action and taking action, I see as strengths, but sometimes I'm too quick to go to those things. And I know as a weakness or an area to work on would be more of that seeking understanding and cultivating empathy. So I know I'm like combining a bunch of steps, but I just see myself as needing to maybe slow down a little more and listen and seek to understand and build that empathy before jumping into taking action.
Thanks for sharing and reflecting on that. I was looking at number 5 too, with the discerning best action, and the part that gets me is co-planning with the person to figure out what would be helpful to them, because like I mentioned earlier, I think that sometimes I just want to say, no, I know what's right. I know what you need to do. Just do it, instead of working with them to help them or to have them be part of that decision process. So I was going to say that number 5 would be my weakness. Does anyone else have anything to add to that discussion and reflection before we move on? Okay, so I think we are going to go ahead and move to our closing activity. So the steps to compassionate action require a strong awareness of self and others. Throughout the toolkit, we will look at practices that help us develop this awareness. Our initial grounding activity was a short introduction to one practice that allows us to be more present, which helps us to be more aware of ourselves and others. So our last discussion piece for today is, what is something you became aware of about yourself or others in this experience today? I guess I knew this about all of you already, but I think things like this always remind me that I'm not alone, that there's other people going through these same feelings and experiences and stressful situations as me. And so it makes me feel, not as lonely, I guess. So that's something that I became more aware of this morning.
Kylie, to go off of that, I I echo what you're saying in feeling not alone and knowing that others are going through the same kinds of things. Being that I was the person who came on late, I was anxious about that. We were supposed to start at a certain time and stuff was crazy at home, stuff that I was not in control of. So having that grounding activity in the beginning was also helpful to remind us to just like put aside what you came from, and we're coming into this meeting, and to just be present and to take time to take those deep breaths and listen to understand. That was also helpful. So thanks that I'm not alone. And thanks for the grounding activity.
Thanks, Beth. Tate or Tasha, would you like to add anything?
We came into this intending to make it a mock circle consultation, and I feel like I've cleansed myself already. And so I think we recorded a pretty good session here, of what this is really intended to be. And I think, echoing what Beth had said, this is not something that you can, this career, this profession, this world is not something that you can do alone. We have spouses, friends at home or in our personal lives, but they don't necessarily understand what it's like when when you're in that foxhole with the person that you're sitting next to at school. So you really need to find those people in your work life that you can confide in and that you can kind of share some of these experiences with. And I think that really speaks to why the four of us chose to implement this compassion, resiliency, and training for all of our staff or whoever is interested in participating in it. Because what have we been sitting here 20 minutes now? I already feel like I'm ready to tackle the day a little bit better, and also just to keep creating and fostering those strong relationships with your coworkers. I think we all need that to get through, 180, 179 and a half days, 170 days of school year with kiddos. Because man, once February hits and it's 20 below outside and people are having a rough time, that's when these strong relationships will really come in and help us all out.
Thank you, Tate. Tasha, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I do. I would echo what you said, not alone, all the three of you. I also feel like I'm just excited about this because taking care of ourselves, like this is just as important. Talking about like the stress of your job and life and working through that is just as important as going to the gym at 4 a.m. or eating your fruits and vegetables. It's just, I needed this morning. Again, I'm going to echo Tate that this was supposed to be a mock, but I'm ready for this day. I think I'm at a 5 now, 3.5 at the beginning, now a 5. So let's do this. Thank you, Kylie.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I would agree that this definitely made me feel better. So I appreciate all of you. That is all I have for today. So thank you for participating.
And for the purposes of just showing, in case you are sharing with people as they're watching this, whoever made it this far at least, I'm going to share with you what the Compassion Resilience Toolkit looks like. We have this website, and this training was provided by Rogers and Health. They are kind of a national-based mental health provider. If anybody wants to help me out here a little bit, they have facilities all over the country, and provide psychologist services and treatment and things like that. But they put this Compassion Resilience Toolkit together specifically for educational staff. And there's 12 steps that we're going to go through. We're going to share the pre-reading information. Every step has kind of a pre-read. We're going to be sending that out to you, but then also it describes what the activities are going to be. And we're certainly not going to do all of them, but we're going to kind of pick and choose the ones that we think are going to be most beneficial for us as we go on here for the next I think couple years. We plan on trying to help people and support everyone in our buildings. Does anybody else have anything they would like to add to this?
No, that sounds great. I think we just need to emphasize that we're definitely not going through all of the documents, that the email will really be brief and have chosen activities for you to do.
And also, this is completely self-motivated. I mean, this is not anything that's being asked or forced upon you. This is, if you feel like your bucket is overflowing and you want to, if you're looking for a way to try to empty that bucket a little bit and ground yourself and get yourself in a state where you can help kids better, this is another tool to help assist you as we go on.
Thanks, Tate.
Closing remarks, or otherwise, thank you everyone for your time and joining us with Compassion Resilience training, and have a great day. Happy 2020.